Good morning. So I'm feeling old today. A couple pounds lighter than yesterday, but man, first up, I saw a video by Paul Joseph Watson about this app called TikTok, which Gen Z likes to use, and they tend to be edgy on it, and it drives the millennials, or at least the SJW millennials, really crazy. I mean, not that they weren't crazy to start with, but more so. It has drawn their ire. And I'd never heard of it before. Apparently it's a big thing. Kind of like Twitch. I first became aware of Twitch, I think earlier this year, when I heard a story about it, I think on the Media. It's an NPR show. Anyway, what also makes me feel old is that I remember, well, one, I'm going to say this over and over again because it's an odometer sort of thing. I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. To me, the idea, if you told my 20-something-year-old self that at age 50 I'd still be looking to sort of define my career and figure out what I was going to do with my life, 50, you're basically dead by 50, right? If you haven't done it by 50, you're not gonna. So I take hope in the notion that 50 is the new 30, but man, my back hurts. And I go to the gym pretty regularly, pretty diligently. And I see guys my age and older who are in there pretty much every day, and they're not slacking. They're lifting, they're working hard, and they don't look any different. Month after month after month, they look no different. But 20-somethings come in, and they start working out, and man, they sprout muscles overnight. Message to the young folks, attend to your body now. Yeah, you can eat a lot of shit, and you don't get really fat. Some of you do, but some of you don't. But man, that is going to catch up with you. Go to the gym, put on some muscle now in your 20s, because man, you are going to regret it. Come your 30s, 40s, 50s, trying to get fit then, overcoming a lifetime of habits and overcoming the lifetime of body shaping that you've been engaged in, that is hard work and darn frustrating. That's not what I was going to talk about, though. What I was going to talk about is I remember when I was young, in my teens and 20s, my father liked to play Miss Pac-Man. And, my parents got divorced when I was in 7th grade, I think, and my father moved to an apartment complex, and a convenience store very near his apartment complex had the arcade game. I know this is a bizarre concept to a lot of youngsters, but it used to be to play video games, you would go to like a store or a mall or something, or a video arcade, and put quarters into a big machine. I'd say big as a phone booth, but who knows what a phone booth is these days. Anyway, my father was a devotee of Ms. Pac-Man. He played it for years on end, and at the time, I was a teenager. I always wanted to play the newest games, the newest, coolest games, and my dad was still playing Ms. Pac-Man when I had moved on to, I don't even remember what. Because when I think back to those early, video games, I just remember the early ones. I remember Centipede and Asteroids and Dig Dug, and remember the DVD games, or the the Laserdisc games like Dragon's Lair and what do they call it? They cut up Hayao Miyazaki's Castle of Cagliostro, I think it's called. It's Lupin the Third adventure, and they called it what? Can't remember. Anyway, I remember playing that sort of stuff. But I realize now that, while I was going from one game to the next, my father kept playing the same game year after year after year. I thought that was really, kind of pathetic, and certainly, not taking advantage of what's on offer. And when it comes to video games, I discovered Plants vs. Zombies in 2010, and I've been playing that or Plants vs. Zombies 2 pretty much ever since. And about the only games I ever played until quite recently were Plants vs. Zombies 2, Minecraft, and Civilization 4. And then my son was here, and we got some new SSD for my laptop that I use for gaming, and we had to reboot everything. And it turns out I don't have the Civ 4 disc anymore, so I don't play Civ 4 anymore because it's not on my computer. But I don't have a TV, I don't have a gaming console. I have never in my life played Fortnite, or what's the other big one that folks like? Overwatch. I recognize the characters from Overwatch. I've never played. I've never even seen anybody play. For me, gaming, Minecraft, I can play and listen to something like an audiobook or a podcast or a lecture, and I can take that in while I'm wandering around and building stuff in the Minecraft world. Plants vs. Zombies is a pure waste of time, and it makes me feel awful. It is my crack. It is my heroin. I mean, compared to those actual addictive substances, it's pretty mild, but still, it's a weakness that I indulge in. And I don't know really what to say about that, except that things that I thought were absurd in my parents, I now do. And so will you.